Today, we will reveal the inspiring lives of the richest Black female athletes, who not only shattered records but also broke barriers in sports and beyond. Who holds the title of the wealthiest? The answer might surprise you. Number 6. Candace Parker. Starting from the bottom, we have Candace Parker, who is a retired basketball player and is considered one of the greatest women in WNBA's history, making over $200,000 yearly. Born on April 19, 1986, Candace Parker was born into a family of basketballers. One of her oldest brothers is Anthony Parker, a professional NBA player, so you can tell the gene runs wild in the family. Her father, Larry, played basketball at the University of Iowa in the 1970s, and Candace developed a love for the game from home. She started playing at a very young age, even though she had reservations about getting into the sport. Growing up, Candace Parker's family were huge fans of the Chicago Bulls, and she was worried that she and her brother and father wouldn't be able to play basketball. She had put them on a pedestal and convinced herself that she was never going to be like them, so she started playing soccer. Candace was doing well in soccer, but her family wasn't going to let her give up on her dreams because of fear, so they encouraged her to get into basketball. Her father acted as her coach at the time, and by the time she was in high school, she was leading her high school team to AA class titles from 2003 to 2004. Candace went on to become the only two-time award winner of the USA Today High School Player of the Year. She started 119 out of the 121 games she played while in high school. Candace would go on to get more awards in 2003 and 2004, including Gatorade Female Athlete of the Year, WBCA All-American, and McDonald's All-American. She was really raking in the awards and went on to become the Player of the Year in Illinois from 2002 to 2004. But before she started raking in these many awards, Candace set a record that no one had ever gotten or attempted. On December 27, 2001, a 15-year-old Candace Parker dunked for the first time, and it turned out to be the first dunk by a female athlete in Illinois. Many people tried to argue the validity of her dunk and if she was really the first female to dunk in Illinois, or was she just lucky? Candace proved them wrong on March 29, 2004, when she won a slam dunk contest, becoming the first woman ever to win the contest, beating the likes of Josh Smith. 2004 seemed to be a great year for Candace Parker because after winning the slam dunk contest, she went on to lead the undefeated USA Junior World Championship team to a gold medal. The amazing thing about this win was the fact that Candace needed surgery for an injured knee, which she got while training, but still went ahead to complete the game and get the gold medal. Candace got into the University of Tennessee that same year and didn't play any matches because of the injury she had. She finally started opening matches for her school's team in the 2005 season and became the first woman to dunk at an NCAA tournament. She kept on setting records even until she became a professional WNBA player. With a point of 34 in her debut WNBA game, she broke the record for a rookie in a debut game and became beloved in the game. With a record-breaking talent like hers, Candace Parker got many endorsement deals. The longest-running deal she had was with Adidas, which started in 2008 and included a sneaker line. Despite her great efforts in the WNBA, there is always an end to everything. In April 2024, Candace Parker officially retired from basketball and was appointed as Adidas's brand president for women's basketball. She now earns $200,000 yearly, which is more than she was paid as a WNBA professional, and her net worth is $8.1 million. If you think her earnings are underwhelming for her skills, then this next athlete would increase your expectations. Number 5. Sloane Stephens. Just from her game earnings, Sloane Stephens has made over $18 million. She was born on March 20th, 1993, to athletic parents who had experience in collegiate swimming and professional American football. Being born into a sporty family also made her develop a love for athletics. Her stepfather was a recreational tennis player, and she developed an interest in the sport through the tennis club on the street opposite her childhood home. Sloane's mother was the first African-American woman to be named a first-team All-American swimmer in Division I. After her biological father got arrested, she moved to California when she was 2 years old. Sloane got into tennis at the age of 9 by playing at the Sierra Sport and Racket Club, where her mother trained and her stepfather played. Francisco Gonzalez, a former top 100 player, saw her skill and impressive talent and didn't want it to go to waste. So he encouraged her to keep training and pursue a career in the field. Sloane then relocated back to Boca Raton in Florida and started training at the Everett Tennis Academy. When she turned 12, she transferred to the Nick Saviano High Performance Tennis Academy to further pursue her interests and begin homeschooling. A year later, when she turned 13, Sloane started competing in low-level events at the ITF Junior Circuit. Her breakthrough came in 2008 when she played at the US Open in the doubles final, which was her first time. She kept that streak of excellence by starting 2009 with 2 wins at her first 2 tournaments for that year. In 2010, Sloane partnered with player Timea Babos to become the second pair of girls to win 3 Grand Slam tournament double titles in one season. She was on her way to greater things, and she worked hard to maintain her winning streak for the longest time. In 2007, Sloane started playing at professional events, and 3 years later, in 2010, she went from being ranked at number 802 to number 198, making the top 200 list. By 2011, she won her first $50,000 professional event in Italy. Towards the end of that same year, she joined the top 100 list and became the first 18-year-old to be in the top 100. To further show just how talented she was, Sloane Stephens went on to be ranked number 38 in the top 50 in 2013. While Sloane has lost many matches despite setting records, she has gotten many endorsement deals over the course of her career. In her early career days in 2010, she worked with Under Armour, and despite their long relationship, she decided to cancel the deal in 2018 and sign with Nike. In 2023, she started using head rackets, endorsing the Speedline. After winning the US Open that same year, she signed a new deal with Mercedes-Benz. She has partnered with health brands like Colgate and has spread the news on the importance of education with Time Warner Cable. Despite winning over $18,000 in games, she is currently making below $750,000 yearly and is worth $20,000. Her earnings are impressive, but wait till you hear how much this next athlete is worth. Number 4. Simone Biles. This athlete is not just the most awarded gymnast, she's also one of the richest. In case you didn't already know, we're talking about Simone Biles. Simone Biles was in the news a lot this year, from the issue of her husband claiming not to know her when she slid into his DM, to her many wins at the Olympics. Now she is being talked about because she is one of the top 5 richest Black female athletes, and half of the rich female athletes are made up of Black women. Born on March 14, 1997, Simone Biles is considered one of the most decorated gymnasts and also one of the greatest Olympians of all time, and rightfully so. She spent some part of her childhood in and out of foster care until her maternal grandfather took her and her sister in and then adopted them. During a field daycare trip at the age of 6, Simone Biles tried out gymnastics, and that is where her love and passion for the sport started. The instructors on the trip recognized her talent and suggested she continue in the field. Through the support of her grandfather, she enrolled at Bannon's Gymnastics and started training under coach Amy Borman at the age of 8. Simone Biles began her career as a junior gymnast at the age of 14 at the 2011 American Classic in Houston. She placed first on vault and balance beam, 4th on floor exercise, 8th on uneven bars, and 3rd overall in the competition. While the win wasn't as impressive as as you would expect. It was a stepping stone for her to improve on her skills. By 2012, Simone Biles placed first all around at her first 2012 meet in the American Classic that was hosted in Huntsville, Texas. Her win in the American Classic secured a spot for her at the USA Gymnastics National Championships. In that same year, she competed at the 2012 US Classic in Chicago, placing first all around and getting her name considered to be a part of the US junior national team. Simone made her senior international debut at the 2013 American Cup, but the more events she attended, the more she got anxiety, and falling off the beams during her routines became normal. She had to speak with a sports psychologist, to whom she is grateful for helping her get back on track to set records. Simone Biles went on to be named the Team USA Female Olympic Athlete of the Year in 2015, became the BBC Overseas Sports Personality of the Year in 2016, and Best Female Athlete of the Year in 2017. Amidst all her many wins, she also got many endorsement deals along the line. Some of the most notable are Nike and GK Elite Sportswear. She was the 9th highest earning female athlete as at 2023, making $8.5 million annually before taxes and agent fees. Simone Biles is currently worth $20 million, and if you think this is mind-blowing, wait until you see the athlete worth $95 million. Number 3. Venus Williams. We're talking about Venus Williams. Many people have tried but failed to make Venus a shadow of her sister, Serena Williams. But with her wins and how much money she makes, it is impossible to achieve that. Venus Williams was born on June 17, 1980, and grew up in Compton, despite being born in Linwood, California. Her parents wanted her and her sister, Serena, to pursue a career in playing tennis, so they made the decision to move from Compton to West Palm Beach, Florida, so they could attend the tennis academy of Rick Maxey. Rick Maxey paid close attention to the Williams sisters because of their incredible talent and provided additional coaching for them. However, Rick and Venus's father did not always get along because of their different set of ideologies on what was best for the girls' futures. Richard, Venus's father, stopped allowing his daughters to attend national junior tennis tournaments because he wanted them to take things slow and focus on schoolwork. At the time, Venus Williams had a record of 63-0 on the United States Tennis Association Junior Tour and was ranked #1 among the under-12 players in Southern California. However, Richard didn't kill their tennis dreams and started coaching them at home after pulling them out of Rick Maxey's academy. Venus started her professional career in 1994 at the age of 14. This was barely 3 years after her father started coaching her at home. She played against top stars at that age, and while she failed many of her tournaments from 1994 to 1996, she finally started setting records. Her ranking broke into the top 100 in 1997, and while she still lost some games, it was only up from there for her. Venus Williams went on to win her first singles title of the year in 1998 after beating Joannette Kruger at the Cellular South Cup of Oklahoma City. Her ranking broke into the top 10 that same year, where she ranked at number 10. But apart from winnings in sports, Venus Williams was also on the right side of history when she demanded equal pay in 2007. Other female tennis athletes before her had been championing the idea, but she took it a step further and had a meeting with the management before publishing an article in the Times. She accused Wimbledon of being on the wrong side of history and called them out for not paying male and female athletes the same amount. She also led the protest for the request, and due to the pressure, Wimbledon equalized the pay between male and female athletes. Venus Williams now earns $200,000 annually through her deals with Reebok, Ralph Lauren, Lacoste, and more. She is currently worth $95 million and is the third richest female athlete of all time. But that's right under her sister, who is the second richest. Number 2. Serena Williams. When we think about tennis, the first face we see is typically Serena Williams because because of her work ethic and amazing playing skills. Born on September 26, 1981, Serena was just 4 years old when she moved to Compton with her family to start playing tennis. By the time she started playing in the junior tournaments, she had a record of 46-3 in the United States Tennis Association and was ranked number 1 among the under-10 players in Florida. When Serena turned 10, her father stopped sending her to tennis academies and tournaments and decided to coach her personally so she could focus on school. Richard Williams didn't want his children to burn out before going professional, and it was a great move because it helped them get focused. However, giving Serena time to focus on other things just made her more hungry to be on the lawn. So when she turned 14 in 1995, she decided to make her debut at the Bank of West Classic, despite her parents' wishes for her to start at 16. She was rejected because of her age and attempted to file a lawsuit against the WTA. Her parents advised her to withdraw the suit, and she finally got the chance to play at the Bell Challenge in Quebec. She lost the match to an 18-year-old. After seeing how her age could restrict her, Serena rested for a year and got back to the game in 1997. She won her first match at the Ameritech Cup in Chicago in November 1997. Despite being ranked at number 304, she won some of the top 10 players at the time. She was pushed into the top 100 by the end of 1997 and ranked at number 99. Serena went on to lose almost all her games in 1998, even though she got to the semifinals for a lot of the games, and was ranked in the top 20, which was the fastest achievement of that milestone in women's history. Serena went on to break many more records, and as of 2023, she became the highest-paid female athlete, making $45 million yearly. She is currently worth over $290 million. According to Forbes, she has investments worth $1 billion. But in spite of all this, she still isn't the richest black female athlete. The richest black female athlete is no other than number 1, Naomi Osaka. Born on October 16, 1997, Naomi Osaka is half Haitian and half Japanese. She currently goes by her mother's Japanese surname now because that was the practice at the time she was born in Japan. When Naomi turned 4, her family moved from Japan to the United States, where she lived on Long Island, New York. Her father watched Serena and Venus Williams play at the 1999 French Open and decided to teach Naomi and her sister Mari the game. Naomi's father, Leonard Francois, had very little experience when it came to tennis, but he was determined to emulate everything Richard Williams did for his daughters. So once the family settled in the US, Leonard moved the family to Florida so Naomi and her sister could start training. Naomi trained on the Pembroke Pines public courts during the day and was homeschooled at night. It was a rigorous training, which eventually paid off. When she turned 15, she started training under Patrick Tauma at the ISP Academy before moving to the Harold Solomon Tennis Academy in 2014. After moving from academy to academy, she later settled at the Pro World Tennis Academy. Despite being raised in the United States, Naomi Osaka's parents wanted her to represent Japan at every tennis tournament. Her parents claimed that they wanted Naomi and her sister to play for Japan because they were raised in a Japanese and Haitian household and wanted them to continue the culture. However, there were some speculations about the decision being motivated by the US Tennis Association not being interested in Naomi Osaka at a young age. The team later offered her an opportunity to train with them when she turned 15 years old, but she declined. Naomi Osaka may have made the right decision because she went on to play at the ITF Women's Circuit on her 14th birthday. She turned professional when she turned 16 years old, and despite losing different near-win matches, she won a match at the Japan Women's Open as a wild card and was pushed into the 250 ranking list. By the end of 2014, she was ranked as number 144. Naomi Osaka had such a successful run in the game that she signed endorsement deals worth over $16 million in 2019 alone. The next year, she moved up to becoming the highest-earning female athlete, making $34 million million in endorsements and $37.4 million altogether. She is a brand ambassador for many brands, including Nike, Nissan, PlayStation, Levi's, and GoDaddy. She is currently worth $45 million and is the owner of two brands, KNLO, a skincare line, and Evolve, a talent agency led by women. Black female athletes are taking the world by storm and putting in the work to get their bags. All the athletes mentioned in this video are at the top of their game and continue to make way for more young black female athletes to outdo them. Which other black female athletes do you think are breaking barriers and pushing the limits? Let us know in the comments. Hasta luego.